Our clinical innovation strategy, we've been involved with it for a few years now. We can now sort of say we're pretty comfortable with where we've ended up.
We have medical office assistants that work directly with the doctors. They do a lot of that sort of behind the scenes paperwork stuff. Our EMR creates rules for updated attention to different needs that the patients may have.
A lot of the work is done before you even see the patient. The MOAs, who are the medical office assistants, will gather information on the patient, weigh them, take their blood pressure, etc., and do some screening maneuvers as well, which leaves you time to do what you're supposed to be doing with the practice.
I went for rural medicine because I think that's where you can actually practice more of being a family physician, be able to deal with a patient holistically, and in a small town, rural, you get to know your patients, you live with them, and that's part of family medicine for me.
Our practice is a wide variety of patients, both geriatric, because it is an older community. That's certainly in the clinic you'd be seeing lots of geriatrics, but there's a wide variety of patients you'll see, and especially in the emergency department, it will be younger, older, and anywhere in between.
A team approach and good communication, good flow of communication, and clearly defined roles for everyone. And yet there's a significant amount of cross-training, so everybody gets a chance of understanding what each other's roles are and why it's important.
It's a team process again. It's not just me helping the doctor learn where they need to go, but the MOAs are there, the other doctors themselves, and of course the nurses and hospital staff are all there to help the doctors find their way through what can be a little bit of a complicated process at the beginning.
Typically when we get a new doctor, what we do is every other doctor will stop taking on new patients, so anybody that's new to the community or wants to switch, because quite often it takes a long time to get in to see one of the older doctors, they will switch, and any new doctor or any new patient, coming into the community would automatically get assigned to the new doctor.
The other thing that the clinic does is support for a new physician that comes to our facility. The bulk of their time they're working in the clinic, and there's always a lot of paperwork that needs to be done. I help them make sure they've got all their numbers in place for what they need to be legally practicing, as well as the Department of Rural Medicine is a huge help with that.
In our clinic, the regular day is like a regular day in most offices, but when you're on call, it is unique because you're covering the emergency, which is literally just down the hall. So if you get an emergency, you can go see that patient, get things organized, order some blood work, x-rays, etc. And then you can go back to our clinic and still see patients, and then go back and see the emergency patients. So it saves you a ton of time, and it is very well organized in that sense. Similarly, if there's patients that you need to see that are on the ward, same thing. You can walk down the hall, see them, get things organized, and then come back and work through your clinic day.
It's basically just stepping from here to there, and even if there's a problem in the acute side with any patient, it's easy convenience, and you just pop in, and it makes everything, I would say, better for us physicians and for the patients, because then we're there on time when things go bad, if we are needed on time, and yeah.
Well, the expectations are that we're looking for high quality medicine, and we're looking for collegiality and teamwork with the other staff, and we're just in the process of completing an agreement amongst the physicians, which has that actually written down. It's not legal, but it's a gentleman, gentlewoman's approach to collegiality. You are responsible to get your lab work done. Your holidays, you rely on your other colleagues to work that out properly. There is an expectation to do your charting, all this sort of thing. So I think it's very good, and it's something we haven't had, and I think it just lets everyone know where they stand within the clinic.